Hi again. This week we're taking a look at the event where Jesus heals a demon-possessed man, or a demoniac, in the synagogue at Capernaum. So the scene opens with Jesus teaching in the synagogue. So he had gone into Capernaum, and it says immediately on the first Sabbath that he was there, began to teach. So again, this is a common thing back then for rabbis to travel around and teach. They weren't necessarily like the pastors of today who were employed in one place. So they would go around to various places and be welcomed in to teach. So it makes sense that Jesus was just allowed to come in and start teaching, as opposed to what you might find in a church today if you just walked in and said, "Hi, I'm going to be teaching this Sunday." So that he started teaching. People were amazed because his teaching was so different. And that was partly because the scribes at the time very often just did a lot of recitation of both scripture and other ancient rabbis or older rabbis, and they would a lot of times even do sort of a point counterpoint, and often they obfuscated the message they were really trying to get across by just delivering so many alternative points of view. So it became not as revelatory, I guess, for worshipers. And when Jesus came in and he was really opening their eyes to the meaning of Scripture and spoke with the authority that he could say for certain, this is what this means, as opposed to what the scribes had done, like, well, there's this rabbi says this rabbi says this. So that's why it was so amazing to them. And some commentaries say that people were actually, their amazement was negative at first, but then he heals the demoniac, and it's all their feelings about Jesus become positive. So that's something to consider, is that at first they were like, I beg your pardon, you can't just say that you know this for sure. But then when they see his power and his authority, then they recognize it for what it is, and they do believe in Jesus's power and authority. So I linked a great sermon about that, and I would highly recommend you take a look at it. So one more point about the demoniac. So we're going to have lots of opportunities to look at Jesus healing people who were possessed by demons. So I just want to take this opportunity to kind of point out that Jesus in this case spoke to the demon as a separate sentient being, and the demon attempted to say something, and he told the demon to be quiet. There are a lot of people who believe that demon possession was just a misguided diagnosis of mental illness or epilepsy or other illnesses. And I think there are lots of reasons in this particular case where we can draw the conclusion that Jesus was not healing someone of a clinical disorder, that there was actually an evil spirit present and at work. So take a look at the post and see what you think about that, and I'll see you again next time.